the Jets ruin a lot of things, and it all starts with ownership. And I think part of the reality, Michael, and I don't pay a whole lot of attention to what others say on other shows because, number one, listening to myself for 2 hours a day is more than enough content for me, but I don't want to be accused of stealing people's ideas. I like my own ideas. I don't know how many other people are willing or able or inclined to say, hey, folks, you can complain about the quarterback, you can complain about the coach, but let's have a conversation about the owner. Because the reason your crappy team is crappy is because the owner is unfit, unqualified, unable to run an organization the proper way.
Yeah, if you look at it, you mentioned Jerry Jones. I'm going to put Jerry Jones in a different category than Woody Johnson. At least once upon a time, a long, long time ago, Jerry Jones came in with Jimmy Johnson, and he built a team or helped, depending on who you ask. And Jimmy will say, hey, I did it. And Jerry will say, I was responsible anyway. They did build a team that had 3 championships in 4 years. Jerry Jones has built a team that has never gone through a 13-season playoff drought. He tends to hold on coaches too long rather than moving on, say, 5 games into a season. So I think Woody is in an entirely different category. The dysfunction and the clown show that you've seen that comes back, it's like a recurring Broadway show, playing once again in Florham Park. Here we are, the Jets. And so I can't think of a lot of organizations who do it quite like the Jets do. And I didn't grow up as a Jets fan. Some of my best friends are Jets fans, but I didn't grow up as a Jets fan. But I wanted to give them all a virtual hug yesterday because whether they want to admit it or not, they've seen this story before. They've seen it over and over, and it's disheartening, discouraging.
One of the things I'll say, too, from time to time, Michael, and I don't think we've had this conversation, fans tend to, in fights between players and teams, they root for the laundry. They line up behind the team. They ultimately line up behind the owner because the fans are going to be there bridging generations of players. They're going to come and go. The fans are forever once you have fully accepted that is your team. There's nothing you can do, and you can't fire the owner. Jed York said that 7 years ago, right before the 49ers stumbled into Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch because they'd gone through Jim Harbaugh, fired him, fired Jim Tomsula, fired Chip Kelly. It was a mess. Can't fire the owner. And I've noticed some Jets fans, and I really don't know how much to glean by way of truth and reality from Elon Musk's hellscape known as X. But, a lot of these Jets fans are rallying around Woody Johnson because they have no choice. How dare you say these things about our horrible, awful owner who can't own his way out of a paper bag? How dare you? Because what else are they going to do? Because it's not like he's going to wake up one day and sell the team.
Oh, that's something. That's something, Mike. I mean, just go back, look at it. So I know, Woody Johnson wasn't around. He was, is it called ambassadoring? Maybe he was ambassadoring when Robert Saleh was hired, and that was Chris. Chris was in charge of that hiring cycle. But, yeah, he didn't make things better when, like year 1, year 2 after Zach Wilson, he goes out and he says, we're a quarterback away from being a championship team. And he's mad about that. He's mad about the quarterback situation. Then he makes Saleh fire the other LaFleur, Mike LaFleur, as his offensive coordinator. Saleh brings in Nathaniel Hackett because he knows it gives him the best shot of getting Aaron Rodgers. It's the same reason the Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett. They thought they were going to get Aaron Rodgers. And so when Saleh wants to make a change, because Woody says, hey, I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over. Okay, you're tired of doing the same thing over and over? Okay. Well, you know what I want to do? I want to take care of the biggest problem on the team because my defense hasn't given up, hasn't given up more than 17 points this year. The pick six, but take the pick six out. We haven't given up more than 17 points. So I'm going to demote Nathaniel Hackett. And then when that happens, and you tell me, Consular, how about if I call you Consular? Future Pulitzer Prize winner and Consular Florio.
When hell freezes over.
Yeah, when hell freezes over, right. Tell me about the circumstantial evidence here. So Robert Saleh goes to work yesterday, and he says, all right, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make the owner happy. I'm going to make a change, and Nathaniel Hackett is going to be demoted. I'm going to promote the passing game coordinator. And suddenly, just as he's making that move, maybe Nathaniel Hackett finds out. Somehow word gets to Aaron Rodgers. Word gets to Woody Johnson. Woody and Chris come to his office, and instead of making a change, he's fired. And then we hear later that Aaron Rodgers had nothing to do with it. I don't know. I'm not the smartest guy, but I do have common sense. That seems very, very coincidental to me. I don't know what you say about that one.
Well, and Michael, just to bring it into even sharper focus, they actually had a staff meeting yesterday during which Robert Saleh announced to all of the members of the New York Jets coaching staff that Nathaniel Hackett had lost his play calling and game day responsibilities to Todd Downing. And some thought that Hackett was fired. When I first caught wind of this yesterday and started working on it, put the reporter hat on, a title that few will ever give me, and I can't argue that I've actually earned over the years. But my understanding was
you'll learn when you win your Pulitzer.
That's true. Pulitzer for fiction. I want it for fiction. I don't care about the reporting stuff. Anyway, as long as the check clears, I don't care what they call me. Anyway, he wasn't fired, but I got the sense it was kind of like, well, you know, he can stay if he wants to. It was kind of like there really going to be anything for you to do anymore once this happens. And I think the deeper goal was to maybe pivot this away from Aaron Rodgers and Igor running the show. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.